All right, let's give this Mtel question a shot. This one says a community group is organizing a dinner. Local florists will donate 128 carnations, 160 lilies, and 16 dozen roses to be put into floral arrangements for the tables. All the arrangements will be identical and all flowers will be used. In order to create the greatest number of arrangements possible, how many flowers will be in each arrangement? All right, so let's underline some important stuff in here. We got 128 carnations, 160 lilies, and then 16 dozen roses, which we should probably multiply out. Get to that in a second. It says all of the arrangements will be identical and all flowers will be used, which is sort of important. So all of them are going to be the same, and we have to use all of the flowers. So in order to create the greatest number of arrangements possible, how many flowers will be in each arrangement? So if we want to create the greatest number of arrangements, that to me sounds like a greatest common factor of these numbers. So we're going to take these numbers, factor them, and then from there we can figure out how many arrangements we can make, and then from there we can figure out how many flowers would be in each one of those arrangements. So 16 dozen, actually maybe we don't even have to factor that, because I can tell pretty quickly that 16 goes into all of these numbers. 160 is 16 times 10. And the 16 dozen just made me think, well, is 16 a common factor here? So 128, 16 does go into 128. It is 8 times 16. And then we've got 160, which is 10 times 16. And I'm just making factor trees. You guys may or may not have seen those before. Hopefully you have. It's definitely useful for especially questions like these where we need to find the factors of numbers. 16 times 12 is 192, but I really just want to break that right back up into 16 and 12 anyway. So immediately I can see that these three numbers have the 16 in common. So I'm not even going to break that up anymore. I'm going to grab that and then see if there are any other common factors between these numbers. So 8 breaks up into 4 and 2. 10 breaks up into 5 and 2. And then 12 breaks up into 6 and 2. So all of these have a 2 in common. And 16 times 2 is 32. And there aren't any more numbers in common because we've got a 5 which doesn't go into either one of these numbers, and there aren't any other numbers that go into 5. So 5 is prime. So the best we can do for these three numbers, the biggest factor we can come up with is 32. They all have 16 and 2 in common, which is 32. So I can make 32 different arrangements. So if I divide each one of these numbers by 32, then I should get the number of flowers that should be in each arrangement. And it just so happens that those numbers are going to be 4, 5, and 6. We'll have 4 carnations, 5 lilies, and 6 roses from each bouquet if we make 32 bouquets. So we do 4 plus 5 plus 6. That's going to give us 15 flowers.